Hello and welcome to another of our Bible Shorts. This afternoon I have with me Simon.
Hi, Barry.
Thank you for joining us, Simon. We're going to go through another of the questions submitted on our website, which is regarding the Bible, the most published book ever. So first of all, Simon, how many copies of the Bible have been published?
Yeah, well, we're now about 6 billion copies of the Bible that have been printed since the invention of the printing press, which is remarkable. I mean, it really makes the Bible a unique book, actually. In 2023, even this year, it's expected there'll be about 100 million copies of the Bible printed, which equates to about 2 million a week. And just to put that into some kind of context, because that's a big number.
It is a big number.
To put that into some kind of context, to be in the Times bestseller list, you need to have between 5 and 10,000 copies of a book printed in a week. So this is a whole different scale of magnitude. Why? Because the Bible is a unique and remarkable book. It comes from God, and it's got the evidence that it comes from God through hallmarks of its design and origin. So, for example, prophecy. Which predicts the future. No human being can do that reliably. The Bible does it time and again about Israel, about empires, about the Lord Jesus Christ, even about the state of the world today.
So, if the Bible's so widely printed and that, but isn't it regarded by so many people as an old-fashioned book and an out-of-date book?
Yeah, I mean, some people do say, isn't it yesterday's book? I mean, the stats I've already given you, Barry, and just gone through suggest otherwise, don't they? Really, 100 million copies in a year doesn't suggest that it's a book that's now being disregarded. But perhaps more than that, I mean, what we really want to emphasise is the Bible is really relevant today. It talks about the world today. It describes the principles for living a Christian life today. In fact, if you want to be a Christian, if you want to follow the teachings of Christ, there's only one place you can go to for that. Reliably, and that is the Bible.
So it's a big book. It's widely distributed, but how do you start? And for the first time reader?
Well, look, it can be a bit daunting, Barry, and some of our listeners maybe feel when they looked at their Bible, perhaps it's over 1,000 pages long, they're thinking, where do I even start? And look, the advice we'd give is pace yourself. Take it a bit at a time. Don't try and get through it all in one go. It will take some time to familiarise yourself with it, work your way through it. You can use a Bible reading plan, for example, and perhaps you could compare it to building a house. Building a house, you build brick by brick. Doesn't all appear at once, but you need to form some foundations, and that's what some of these little shorts are about, is helping you establish the basics so that you can then build on top of that the rest of the structure.
You said it takes some time. So how long would it take me if I was to start from reading from the beginning?
Yeah, well, look, if you read it from cover to cover, and you didn't take any breaks for eating or going to the toilet or sleeping, it probably would take you 1.5 to 2 days to read the Bible.
I don't think I could do that.
I don't think many people could do that, and I don't think it would be particularly beneficial because you probably wouldn't remember a lot of what you've read if you read it all in one go like that. And that's back to what we said: pace yourself. If you read it a little bit more slowly, perhaps an hour a day, it might take you a couple of months to read the Bible. If you were a little slower than that, maybe 10 to 15 minutes a day, perhaps 6 to 8 months, depending on how quickly you read. So we really suggest you take it at a pace that allows you to absorb what you're reading. Take your time. As I say, we can give you a reading plan. And really the most important thing is that you are sort of considering what you're reading. You're allowing it to sort of impact in terms of your thought process.
Okay, so just a final question. I'm sure that as if I beginning to read it, there will be bits I don't understand. How do I deal with that?
Well, look, I mean, again, we would say that's perfectly normal for someone to read the Bible, and at first there'll be some things that could be confusing, or you're not sure about. And I've been reading and studying the Bible for many decades, and there's still things that I read and have to take some time to consider them. So it's absolutely understandable. You could perhaps have a little notepad. If there's something you read and you weren't sure about, make a note of it. And maybe when you're reading another part of the Bible, it will help to explain it. Or you could speak to us if you've got some questions. And we perhaps help you to look at other parts of the Bible to help unlock them. But really what we'd say is the touchstone is the Bible. If anyone says anything to you, this is true or that's true, unless they can show you it's true from the Bible, It shouldn't really be relied on. And that's where you've got to start with the Bible and end with the Bible. It really is the touchstone. Thanks
Okay.
very much.
Well, thanks, Simon. Thanks very much for your time. And I'd just like to remind people watching this video that there's lots of resources on the Open Bible Learning Group website. And so do have a look around, and the contact details are here. Thank you.